Hello everyone, Matt from Model Minutes here and welcome back to the workbench for another unboxing. Today I'm taking a look at something rather special. This is the Eduard Royal Class P-40E Warhawk in 1/48 scale. So join me as I get inside the box of this kit and see what it's like. So you can probably tell this is something a little bit high class because we've got a line drawing and this rather sort of luxurious sort of print work on the box here. We can see that this is a P-40E Warhawk. It's a dual combo, so that indicates to me that there's actually two kits in the box and it's 1/48 scale. If we start to move on to the other edges of the box, you can see we've got a product code of R0023 down the bottom, and we have some exclusive content. So it says there's two complete kits of the P-40 in here. We've got plastic parts, we've got photo etch parts, we've got paint masks, we've got exhausts. There's so much. There's a lot going on in here. We also have a lot of paint schemes. So on this side of the box, you can see we've got 4 paint schemes annotated, but wait, there is more. On the other edge here, we just have sort of the addresses and things, and that is the same on this edge here. So it does have pretty much the same information, but we are going to just get onto the other side here. On this side, you can see there's another 8 paint schemes included. So that brings us to a total of 12 paint schemes to choose from over my 2 kits. So let's have a look inside the box and see what we've got. Everything, as you can see, comes well packaged in bags. The first thing I think we should do is have a look at the instructions. I don't want to linger too long on this because I am aware that this will become a massively long video otherwise. So the instructions then, we've got a glossy little booklet with some information about the P-40 on the front. We turn over the page and then we're given sprue maps. The sprue maps do indicate some parts that are not going to be used, but the majority of them naturally will be. This means that they have designed into this kit some extra bits and pieces. On this side here, it also indicates to us the resin parts that are included, as well as the masks. The masks here do have a slight waviness to them, but I think that's just the printing of this image and not actually how it is replicated in the masks. We also have a photo etch sheet as well. And then down the bottom, we have our paint color recommendations. We turn over the page and now we're into an assembly stages. We have the start of our seat for our pilot, and you can see there's different seats based on which variant you're going to do, so make sure you pick the relevant one. We then have extra parts which need to be installed inside of our cockpit, and the cockpit builds up with quite a wealth of detail. We have photo etch parts which need to go in here, we have plastic parts in here, we have decals which go in here, so make sure you take your time and have a good read. This is going to be quite a bit of a project. Coming across onto this side, we have our cockpit walls which get glued onto it and create a sort of sandwich or a bathtub kind of thing. It is worth noting here that we have extra levers based on what you want them to do. This changes the position of the flaps for your engine, the cooling flaps. So depending on whether you want your flaps lowered or raised, you pick the relevant one here, and then when you build the flaps in a minute, you have them lowered or raised. So that's quite clever that they've even decided to include that in the boxing. We have engine exhausts going in, we have engine intakes, we have photo etch parts here for our flaps, for our cowling. Fuselage goes together. We have painting notes as well down the bottom. We have I think this is our clear parts here, can go on to the side. Wheel wells, machine guns. We have our wing surfaces being joined together and other details in there too. Tail surfaces, there's more photo etch here by the looks of it, small little details. And then we turn over the page and we then join these various elements together. So we're now starting to look like a P-40. We have our wheels. Make sure you select the right wheel based on what you're doing, because there's different kinds of wheel. And they get glued in here. I think is there a raised option? I don't see a raised option in here, which surprises me, but you know, I think with modification maybe we could do a raised version. We come on down, we add our cockpit canopies. Again, make sure you're adding the right things, because there's different bits based on the variant we want to do. And then our propeller assembly gets attached as well. There are lots of little bits of photo etch as well which need to be added on. And then we have our ordnance. So we do have the option to install bombs or drop tanks by the looks of it, so you can pick as appropriate. And then that brings us on to the masking. So the masking, it tells you where to put the relevant bits of the mask, which makes it relatively nice and straightforward. And then we flip over and we have all of our paint schemes. So as mentioned, there are 12. These are all painted, or sorry, printed in full color, which is really nice to see. We have one from the United States in 1942, another one in from the United States in 1942, but I think they're used in different locations. It does tell us at the top here information about this, so we know where they were used. Turning over the page, so this is fairly similar. These two are fairly similar to that one, but there are differences. Turn over again. Yep, we've got another one here, different aircraft. Then we've got one here in camouflage scheme with interesting little bits of painting required. Then we have this one. I think this one is fairly well known. I think I've seen this on other kits before, and possibly I've seen these on other kits before, so these are fairly well known as well. So this is, now we're moving into an Australian one as opposed to just American ones we've seen. And then we have a Canadian one, and then we have an RAF one as well. I don't know. Oh, there's more. Sorry, there's another Australian Air Force one, and then we have a Soviet Union one. And then stencils. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? I don't know which ones I want to do. Obviously, I can pick two. So I might do an RAF one and an American one. I don't know. I'll pick them closer to the time. But there's so many to choose from. I'm sure I will decide. So those are our instructions. The next thing to take a look at would be the decals. So I've experienced decals from Eduard a couple of times. I know they did introduce that sort of the special kind of decal which you can remove the film on. I've not experienced those, so I don't know which kind this is going to be. These might just be standard decals. So we do have two of these sheets. These are what look to be stencils. Yeah, so these are just your stencils. One, we got two sheets because obviously we've got two aircraft, and they printed to a nice quality. Perhaps not quite as legible as other brands, but generally not too bad. Maybe the film is a little bit thick, but you know, they're okay. They're all right. And then we have the main lot of decals here. That's a lot. Hang on. Two sheets. So on this one, we have a lot of them. We just have a lot of decals, don't we? There's a lot to choose from. These are all to the same kind of standards we've just seen. Maybe the decal film is a little bit thick, but the printing is pretty good. I think it might be like some kind of silk screen printed, because there doesn't seem to be any little dots or anything from when you would expect a laser jet or an inkjet. But yeah, these are printed to a nice quality. So that's that one. Quite a lot of the American ones on there with all these teeth. And then we also have the RAF ones as well, and all the roundels as well. Lots of transfers on here, aren't we? We have literally been given everything. Got so many to do. So you could if you wanted to, because I know Eduard do their over trees, but you can just buy the sprues. So if you wanted to do a third version, you could, because you've got loads of decals. You've got loads of spares here if you wanted them. But yeah, they look okay, don't they? I don't have a great deal of experience with Eduard decals. I have used them in the past on a couple of builds, but we'll have to see how these ones go on. Maybe not quite as nice as some other manufacturers, but I think that they should be absolutely fine to use. Then we do the main parts. So all the plastic parts come in bags. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll look at it from the context of one kit, because I know there's duplicates. So we get two of everything, and I'm just going to look at one of each. So clear parts come in their own little Ziploc bags. The other sprue is over there, and they are identical. So clear parts, then we've got three windscreens based on, I presume, variants we're doing, and then the various canopy parts, and I think you can have them open and close like we saw in the instructions, the rear windows, and then smaller parts as well. The moulding is very crisp. I can't see any flash. It's crystal clear plastic. It doesn't feel greasy. and the molding is to a really nice quality. There's loads of little details, loads of little rivets and things. No blemishes that I can see. Yes, very impressive molding on there. So let's put that one down. Let's now have a look at this, which is our main fuselage parts. The main fuselage parts. So again, we get 2 sprues. So I'll only look at one. These are molded in a bluey grey kind of plastic. And we have our fuselage parts, which, oh wow, check out the level of detail on those. Look at that. Recessed panel lines, very fine, lots of rivet detail, very subtly all over the aircraft. Amazing. Same with the tail surfaces. There's a propeller. Tiny little bit of flash in a few places, which will need cleaning up, but the mold quality is really nice. No internal detail, but we build up the detail using other parts. And no ejector pin marks really that I can see. But yeah, a tiny little bit of flash in places, just needs cleaning up, but the level of detail is absolutely outstanding. So we get 2 of those sprues. I'll put them back away in a minute. Let us now move on to these sprues, which contain, by the looks of it, wheels. So many bits, so many bags, so many bits of plastic. So we have 2 of these sprues which have our propellers. Yep, again, the same kind of deal. The level of detail is absolutely outstanding. There's even like texture for like the kind of fabric coverings that would be on your landing gear wells. Lots of refined little details, lots of little pipe works or wires. Very nice, very refined. I mean, flash is minimal. There is a little bit in a few places. The plastic itself is relatively dense, maybe has a little bit of flax in it, but it's not like oily or greasy. The small parts here, very fine. They're reproduced as well, which makes you think, do we even need photo etch if we can do plastic parts that fine? Yeah, very impressive. So next one, we have drop tanks, I think, and air intakes. There's just so much to look at in this kit. So I'll get one out. There we go. So one of these, there's a sprue F. We've got chair, landing gear bay parts. We've got what's that, drop tank with raised rivets and things on there. A little bit of a blemish there, but nothing too problematic. So that's our spinner there. Nice little details on it though. Tires with subtle tread details on it. Yeah, this is a very nice looking kit. Don't really know what else to say. It's just blown my mind. Is this possibly like the ultimate P-40? I love a P-40. I think those of you who've been watching my channel for a number of years now know that the P-40 is one of my favorite aircraft. I don't know if it is it's like the favorite aircraft, but it's one of my favorite aircraft. I build quite a few of them. So when this was announced, I was really disappointed that I didn't pre-order it, but I managed to obviously get one. This sprue has bombs. It also has bazooka launchers as well, which we don't need for this version, but obviously they factored it in for future versions. And I think there is actually a later version literally in development right now, which uses a lot of these parts, but with replaced ones as well for a later variant. We have small details, lots of tiny little details in here. Yeah, this is very nicely made, isn't it? And then the last sprue has our wings and things. So we've got ailerons with like stressed metal kind of effect on them. We have lots of little holes in here for where we can drill out for extra bits and pieces, which some of them we need, some of them we don't need yet. So I presume that's factored in for a future release. And then flipping over, and again, it's the same kind of deal. Recessed panel lines, lots of little rivet details. Very impressive looking kit. Now, it is worth mentioning that some of these panels and things could actually be cut out if you wanted to. Some things are not included in this kit at the moment, as in, I know I've got extras, and we'll have a look at the extras now, actually. So we got extras in this kit. In particular, we've got some wheels. So these are resin. These look to be like cast resin wheels, and they represent different variants which are inside the kit, as opposed to the standard plastic injection version. So these are like upgrade ones. So we've got extra wheels, and we've also got upgraded extra parts in here. I think these are like engine exhausts and also seats. So I've got extra seats and things in here too, which are very nicely reproduced. So these are 3D printed, I want to say, and these are cast resin by the looks of it. But these are like just some of the accessories that you can get, because although they've included it in this kit, this is not everything that they've designed. They have actually designed pretty much everything to go in with this. You can get like full engine details, you can get gun bay details. You just have to buy them as aftermarket add-ons from Eduard and then install them in your kit. So whilst we've got these are almost like, hey, this is what we can do, but by the way, did you know you can get loads more stuff as well, which blows my mind. So we're not done yet. We're not done. We've got photo etch too. So 2 sheets of photo etch. Both of them are the same, obviously, because we've got 2 aircraft. In here, you can see that we've got engine flaps, we have radiator grills, we've got seat belts, we've got control panels. Yeah, so there's so much value in here, and we haven't even got to the end yet. In this one, we've got our canopy masks or clear part masks. This is like die cut or machine cut onto tape. And I've used Eduard masks a lot. These are usually really high quality, and they do seem to have all of the parts on here for both aircraft, so I can mask both of them. I'm not going to get them out. I'm going to move on. Speaking of masks, we have these masks as well. These are like foam masks, and they go in our wheel wells. So they've designed these as well. They look to be laser cut, and they just fit into the wheel wells to mask those up, so you don't have to do it yourself, which is really great. And that pretty much is it for the kit. However, as a bonus, I did actually get one of these little magnets. So it's like a fridge magnet, and this has the RAF or the Australian Air Force version on it from Libya, which is pretty nice. And there is one more thing. This is the final thing that was included, and we have an artwork, and this is one of Adam Tooby's designs. Absolutely beautiful, P-40 in formation. Yeah, this is a lovely bit of artwork, a nice little inclusion. This would be great. I think it's about A3 size, so I would need to find a suitable frame for this, but it would be nice to put this on my wall. And that is that's everything that was inside the box. I don't even know where to recap this, to be honest. We had some beautiful plastic parts, maybe a little bit of flash that needed cleaning up, but generally really nice quality. Looks beautiful. It remains to be seen how well it assembles, but I have actually seen other people build this already, and it does look to build up really nicely. So yeah, level of detail, cannot complain, absolutely beautiful. Mold quality is really nice too, but there is a little bit of flash in a few places, but that's manageable. Clear parts look to be really good, but that detail is just insane. We have so many decals. The Eduard quality can be a little bit, I mean, it's okay. It's okay to use, but they are not necessarily as good as some other manufacturers, but they are perfectly acceptable. And we get so many of them as well. We had this nice art print. We had a magnet. We had wheel well masks. We had canopy masks for both aircraft. We had extra resin wheels. We had extra resin details for seats and engine exhausts. We have extra photo etch. Not to mention, of course, we had our instructions, and our painting instructions are all in color. Yeah, there's a lot. There's 12 paint schemes included in the kit, and we saw that we have 2 kits. So yeah, this is absolutely crazy. With that in mind, and with the fact that I've mentioned that this may well be the ultimate P-40 that you may ever want to build, and you could actually go to their website and buy extras again for this, such as engine details and open gun bay parts. With that in mind, how much would you be looking at paying for this? Well, the recommended retail price for this on the Eduard website, and bearing in mind this is now discontinued, because technically I think everybody who wanted one pre-ordered one or got one pretty quick. This was $145 US, which if we convert to GBP was around £112 at the time I was making this video. So this is a pretty pricey kit. It's not a pocket money kit, but look at the amount of stuff that you're getting inside the box as well. You're not just getting plastic parts, you are getting so much extra value. With that in mind, I was lucky enough not to spend that amount of money. I was actually fortunate enough to get this one from a retailer here in the UK for £89.99, so a little bit cheaper, or about 22, 23 pounds cheaper than it should be. So that is really good value. So for £90, all of this, absolutely insane. This has blown my mind, and this always happens whenever I buy an Eduard kit. I'm always like, oh wow, that's really impressive. And actually, this is so impressive, I'm a little bit intimidated by it. So I'm looking forward to doing it, but again, time and space prevailing. But yeah, a very exciting kit. Not a pocket money kit, but I think we've seen some amazing value and amazing features in here for what we are spending our money on. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think of my review and if my assessment of it was fair. As always, I'd like to give a quick shout out to my Model Club members for the extra support they give the channel. Massive thanks to these guys for allowing me to continue to purchase insane kits like this for you all to see on the channel. If you'd like to join them or support the channel in other ways, take a look at the links in the description. The best way to support this channel for free though, and see more content like this, is by subscribing with notifications turned on so you don't miss modelling uploads. Finally though, massive thank you to you for watching this video, and I will catch you on the workbench again next time.